It was supposed to be just another cable news debate. Suits, smiles, sound bites. But by the time the cameras cut, millions of people weren't just watching, they were feeling something they hadn't expected: hope. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, known for her fierce intellect and unapologetic integrity, took her seat across from Representative Matt Gaetz on the primetime political roundtable inside the Hill. The producers billed it as a battle of ideas, but everyone knew the real reason people tuned in: spectacle. Gaetz had a reputation for theatrics. Crockett, for cutting through them with calm truth. The segment began predictably. Gaetz smirked, interrupted, and tossed around barbed one-liners like confetti. He accused Crockett of being soft, naive, even too emotional to legislate. The audience tensed. Social media flared. But Jasmine didn't take the bait. She leaned in gently. "Matt," she said with a voice soft enough to hush the studio, "what happened to you?" The room froze. "You used to believe in something. I read your early speeches. You talked about fairness, about justice. You stood up for kids who didn't have clean drinking water in your district. Where did that guy go?" For once, Gaetz didn't have a comeback. She continued, not attacking, but inviting. "We're not enemies. You and I both took an oath to serve, not to score points. But we can't do that if we're busy trying to destroy each other." The host tried to cut in, sensing the segment drifting from drama. But the camera stayed locked. Then Jasmine did something no one expected. She reached into her blazer pocket and pulled out a folded letter. "I met a woman last week in Pensacola, your hometown," she said, sliding it across the table. "She lost her son to fentanyl. She said you were the only congressman who ever called her back. She wanted you to have this." Gaetz took the letter, visibly shaken. For a brief second, the camera caught something flicker across his face: pain, maybe even regret. That clip, Jasmine's words, his stunned silence, the moment of humanity, exploded online. But the real story happened after the cameras stopped rolling. Backstage, Gaetz approached her. "That woman," he said hoarsely. "Her son. I knew him. We went to the same high school. I forgot what that kind of pain looked like." Jasmine just nodded. "Don't forget again." Over the next few weeks, something changed. Quietly, without press releases, Gaetz co-sponsored a bipartisan opioid recovery bill that Jasmine had been pushing for months. No fanfare, no grandstanding, just work. People online called it a humiliation, a takedown. But Jasmine saw it differently. It wasn't about making him look bad, she said later in an interview. It was about reminding him, and maybe all of us, who we are when the cameras aren't rolling. The story became more than viral content. It became a touchstone. In classrooms, dinner tables, even in parliament debates across the UK and Canada, people referenced the Crockett moment, a phrase that had come to mean holding someone accountable with grace. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do isn't shout louder. It's listen harder. And in a world addicted to outrage, kindness, real, unflinching, inconvenient kindness, is the most radical act of all. And that's how a viral moment turned into a quiet revolution. You don't have to humiliate someone to make a point. Sometimes, the truest power lies in calling out the better angels in others and ourselves.